Population growth. This topic is taken from the chapter of organisms and population. This is the most important topic of the chapter of organism and population. This chapter gives more marks as well as this is the interesting topic. Let us understand this topic very clearly in a stepwise. Okay, the size of a population is an ever-changing aspect since it depends upon availability of food, predation, weather conditions, etc. As we all know that size of population sometimes increases whereas sometimes decreases. It is not constant. Sometimes increases, sometimes decreases. So what happens? This is a constant phenomena. It changes with time. It keeps on changing depending upon availability of food, predation, weather conditions. Yes, of course, when the food is good, then what happens? The population automatically increases. When the food is not good, then population decreases. Predation, then weather condition. If the weather is good, then the size increases, size of population increases, and otherwise size of population decreases. So it is not a constant phenomena, as well as it changes with time. It is a changing aspect depending upon food, predation, weather conditions, and many more. Okay. This gives us an idea whether a certain population is growing or declining. Depending upon these factors, food, predation, weather conditions, etc. From these factors, we can understand whether the population is growing or decreasing or it is a constant. Okay. There are some of the important reasons for the increase or decrease in the population. They are natality, it is denoted by B, mortality, it is denoted by D, immigration, it is denoted by I, emigration, it is denoted by E. These are the four most important factors, or we can call it as the reasons for the increase or decrease in the population. So these can be asked for 1 marks. Okay. Natality, it is denoted by B. Let us understand this very clearly. Number of births during a given period in the given population. So what do you mean by natality? It is the number of organisms born during a given period in a given population, given period and a given population. Okay. We have to calculate how many births or how many organisms are formed during a given period in a particular population. This is known as natality. Very simple. Then second one is mortality. It is denoted by capital T. Number of deaths during a given period in the given population. Okay, this is a given population in a given particular period. How many deaths, how many people have been died is known as mortality. Number of organisms died in a given period. Period is also important in a given population. Okay, this is known as mortality. Very simple. Third important one is immigration, which is denoted by capital I. Number of individuals of the same species who have come into the habitat from elsewhere during a given period. Okay. Understand immigration very quickly with a very easy example. Take for example, during the vacation holidays, what we do, our relatives come from their own place to our place, right? From their place they come to our place. This is known as immigration. The people or number of individual of same species means, for example, you can take human beings. They are Homo sapiens. So, number of human beings who have come from their place to our place is known as immigration in a simple language. In official language, we can say number of individuals of the same species who have come into the habitat from elsewhere during a given period. Given period is very important, right? We are calculating in a particular period of time. Next important reason for increase or decrease in population is immigration. It is denoted by capital E. Number of individuals of the same species who have left the habitat and gone elsewhere during a given period. So, Even this I will explain with a simple example. For example, so during vacations we we leave our own place, own habitat, and we go to our relatives house. This is known as immigration. Number of individual of same species who have left their own habitat and gone elsewhere during a given period. Only a certain period of time we go to relatives house, right? Not for a permanent, right? This is known as e-migration. We are calculating this for a certain given period of time. This process is known as e-migration. If n is the population at time t, then its density at t plus 1 is n t plus 1 is equal to nt plus bracket b plus I minus d plus e. This is very important formula. So here we have denoted n as population and t as time and density t plus 1. Here we have given population by n, and at a particular time t, we have to find its density at t plus 1. Okay, density at n t plus 1 is equal to population at time t, that is n at time t, and birth plus immigration minus death plus e-migration. This is most important formula. Growth models. This is the most important topic as per examination point of view. So there are two important growth model. One is exponential growth and logistic growth. We will understand each of them very clearly. So first one is exponential growth. What happens in the exponential growth? Let us understand. When the resources are unlimited, population tends to grow in an exponential pattern. So when we have lot of food as well as lot of space for a population, then automatically population grows in an exponential way. Population grows in a very high way when we have lot of food and very large space. So this is what exponential growth mean. So when we have resources unlimited, and then what happens? Population grows in an exponential pattern. Very simple. The population size is n and the birth and death rates not per capita are b and d respectively, then increase or decrease in n at t time period is given by dn by dt is equal to birth rate minus death rate multiplication into population size denoted by n. So let us consider here population size by n, birth and death rates by small b and small d respectively. Okay, then we have to find out the increase or decrease in the population size. Increase in or decrease is given by dn by dt. Very simple. dn by dt is equal to b minus d into n. So here we consider b minus d is equal to r. R is known as intrinsic rate of natural increase, that is birth minus death rate is equal to small r. Then automatically what happens? Substituting in this, we get dn by dt is equal to Rn. From increase or decrease in n at time t is equal to dn by dt is equal to Rn. R is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, which is equal to birth rate minus death rate. Very simple. So we can write dn by dt is equal to Rn in a mathematical way, that is integration way. If you are a math student, then you can understand very quickly. If you are not a math student, then it's not a worry. Just remember this one. It gives this product, that is nt is equal to n naught e rt. Just remember this equation as it is very important as per the point of examination. Just remember, there is no need to calculate each and everything. Just these two important equations must be written. Very simple. Okay. Here NT is equal to N naught ERT. NT is population density at time t, whereas N naught is population density at time 0, and R is intrinsic rate of natural increase, that is B minus D, birth rate minus death rate. E is base of natural logarithms 2.71. Just remember, write and practice daily, automatically you will remember. And most important growth model is logistic growth. Logistic growth. So what happens in the logistic growth? As we have all learned, in exponential growth, there are resources are unlimited. Then what happens? Population grows in an exponential pattern. So in opposite way, logistic growth is, in this resources are very limited, then what happens? Then the growth decreases and it grows in a logistic manner. This is known as logistic growth. When the resources are limited, leading to competition between individual and survival of the fittest, and population tends to grow in a logistic manner. When the resources are very little, or we can say when they are limited, then what happens? Then the competition takes place. Competition for the survival takes place. Competition between individual and the person who is fittest takes place. This is what happens. Then what happens? Then the population grows in a logistic manner. Very simple. In this kind of growth, there is initial lag phase followed by acceleration or deceleration phases, and finally asymptote, which it reaches its carrying capacity K. So in this kind of logistic growth, what happens? First of all, there is a initial lag phase which follows acceleration, that is increase or deceleration, increase or decreasing in the phases, and then finally it reaches a asymptote, means a straight line with some curve, and finally it reaches a carrying capacity which is denoted by K. Well, understand this. Okay. When n in relation of t is plotted, it results in a sigmoid curve called the Verhulst per logistic growth, given by dn by dt is equal to r capital N k minus n divided by k in brackets. Okay, as we know, when we plot the graph of population density n versus time, which is denoted by small t, we get a sigmoid curve. Then we get a sigmoid curve, right? We get this type of a curve, right? So this is known as Verhulst per logistic growth. And this is mainly given by dn by dt is equal to rn multiplication k minus n divided by k. Very simple. Just remember this formula daily and just repeat it. Okay. N, population density at time t, n is denoted by this, and r is equal to intrinsic rate of natural increase. As I said earlier, r is equal to b minus d. Then birth rate minus death rate is equal to R. K is equal to carrying capacity. This is the sigmoid curve. It is a graph where n, that is population density versus time t, is plotted, and we get this type of curve. Okay, where asymptote sigmoid curve is obtained, which is known as Verhulst per logistic growth, and it is given by dn by dt is equal to r capital N multiplication k minus n by k bracket close. Very simple.